Yes, it's me, Gabriel Davidov again. Today we're going to talk about guitars. Well, as you can see here, this is my red special. I call it Hot Fire. Anyway, so we're going to do verses in Hebrew and in English. So basically, I'll talk in Hebrew and English at the same. Whatever I say in English, I will repeat it back in Hebrew because there's a lot of guitar players in Israel who would want to know this information. Sorry for my stuttering. I stutter sometimes a bit. Anyway, so this over here is a Fender Stratocaster. It's a 1996, as you can see. Well, I beefed this thing up, but don't worry, for the skeptics of Fender Strats out there, I wasn't the first one to beef this one up. When I bought it, it had EMG pickups already. I would never touch a great guitar if it wasn't touched before, so I didn't have the original parts. And somebody, by the way, dug a hole over here for the EMG batteries. But about 6 months ago, I decided to beef this thing up a bit. And the reason I did it is because when I go on a job, I want this guitar to be very versatile. I want to sound like almost any guitar, Telecaster, Stratocaster, Les Paul. For the type of music I play, I need all that versatility. Not only that, I could use the mixture of a humbucker and a single coil at the same time, stuff like that. And many guitars don't do that for me. Well, here's a little taste. All right. As you can see, this guitar has many different tones, so I can basically do single coil. This is the top pickup in single coil. So I can use a little overdrive over here. So it gives you that Stratocaster sense. I can do, like, you know, the Yngwie sound. So in Mizrahit today, and I was about to speak to you about Mizrahit music today. Mizrahit music is a sort of Israeli Middle Eastern pop music, which originated from, it's a long story, but originated from Greek and Turkish music, combined with rock and roll and a few other modern styles of music. I think it's a wonderful thing, especially, you know, I was involved in that music for a long time. But this music is something very, very original to the Israel region, and it's very mainstream now. It used to be a very obscure music, but now it's very, very mainstream. So in Mizrahit, they have the most common sound is this. So, well, let's put it back in humbucker. And there's a lot of that in, like, let me just get the right scale. There's a lot of harmonies as well. Like, you know, if I do. Stuff like that. So, you know, they will, and also in the middle of a song, you know, you will have. So stuff like that. In Mizrahit, it's very essential to have all of these things and elements, and so therefore I have this guitar set up, and the reason I have a Stratocaster because it's so much easier to play. And I will show you more stuff as I go. I will show you the guitars, what I use as guitars, and it's very, very essential to have all these tones and sounds. It might be too much and overwhelming for some regular guitar players who just, you know, are accustomed to basic, you know, basic guitar amp setup. This is a little more intricate. I've been doing this for, I don't know, maybe 30 years now, and, you know, guitar is my life. I play violin, I play on many, many other instruments, but guitar, this is what I get paid for most of the time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this clip. I've been talking for a long time. I will edit it so, you know, we will have less time, but give you more video clips. Alright, this is my system over here. I usually upgrade and downgrade all the time. You know, I do this more for fun these days. And as you can see, I start off here. This is my Marley AB pedal, so, you know, I can switch from two different instruments. My buffer pedal. This is my gray spec pedal. This is my Yngwie overdrive. It's been modded with a better chip. I think it's the 1480 something chip, op-amp chip, which sounds more like the Yngwie Malmsteen. Well, this one I use for a slight overdrive, and this one I use for a boost. It has a beautiful clear tone. And the blue one is my main overdrive. It's a beautiful pedal. And as you can see, the clear one is a pedal that has a tube in it. So when I plug this stereo into the PA system, it's actually, the PA system sounds like a guitar amp, basically. This white one is a Boss noise suppressor. It's been modded as well. I put in a chip which basically, not a chip, resistor, which closes the gate faster faster and sooner, and opens it up much sooner and closes it much sooner. So when I play, it's very fast reactor, and not like the one before, where it took forever to close and open up. It's pretty cool compared to any noise gate that I've compared it to. This thing kicks ass. And this is my timing effect. It's a Bosch GT1. So I guess it comes at the end of the chain loop. It's not a bad system. I have no problems with it. I've gigged with it a few times already, a lot of times actually, but it's not the best I had. And bass is heavy, so I try to cut heavy. And when I'm not traveling to a gig, like far, taking a plane or anything like that, and I drive by locally, I use this amp with me. Usually I would plug into a PA system, and this is my Pride and Joy amp. It's an AC30 1979 or 1960, 1970 or 1969. I'm not sure which is it. It's made by Vox, it's the original thing, but it says Sound Limited on top. And I understand that's when Vox went bankrupt and a bank called it Sound Limited. But anyway, this is my main Pride and Joy guitar. So this guitar over here is what is my versatile guitar. Has all the different tones. I'll go through the tones later. And this over here is what I used for a few years now, but I don't use it anymore because this thing is an heirloom guitar. It's a 1979 Gibson 345. As you can see, the huge headstock. It's a maple neck, not a mahogany. It's a beautiful guitar. I enjoy it. It's the same guitar B.B. King would play on for many years. Seen in color. I've seen him play many of these. Everything is original and beautiful on this guitar. It's almost, as you can see, like a brand new guitar. I love this thing. It's been my main guitar for a long time, but I put it to rest now. It has to rest. It's been playing for almost 40 years. This guitar over here is my Pride and Joy 345 Gibson, as you can see. This guitar is a working machine. It's the best guitar I ever owned, and I'm so privileged to have such a great instrument in my life. I thought I'd never play anything this good. So the reason in Mizrahit people play this guitar is because of the varied tones that this has. This guitar basically feels like you're playing something like a jazz guitar, but it's very versatile. You can play jazz, you can play rock, you can play all sorts of clean tones, dirty tones. This guitar has it all, you name it. The reason I don't play it on stage anymore because it's just too damn expensive. I don't want it to break and wear and tear on me. I want to keep it as valuable as I can. The first guy who ever played a guitar like this in Mizrahit music was a guy by the name Ari's son, and he was quite a genius person because he basically took bouzouki style playing and applied it on this guitar, and he used to sound like this. Sounds. But then came along a guy by the name Ben Mush, another guy by the name Yuda Kesar, and these two guys basically innovated more this guitar sound. They took the same exact guitar and used it for better, they instead of using that old 1970 sound, they actually use this pickup. It's very hard to play clean music, and most people don't play clean music on the bridge pickup, but they did. They did things like tried many copies and many other different types of this similar guitar. Nothing matches the real thing, and I would tell anybody who are thinking that they can use something cheaper and or whatever, something put together that would sound like this, dream on. Nothing would sound like this. Better just buy the whole thing. And also they use the combination of this with with the harmony, and it sounds like they basically are the pioneers with this music. As you can see what the power this guitar has. Every time I touch it, I'm just like, there's a lot of feelings. And this actual guitar used to be owned by Ziggy Marley. The guy who sold it to me called me back after a month or 2 months later, and he wanted it back because Ziggy wanted it back, and he would pay me more than what I paid for it. But anyway, I didn't want to sell it back to him. I'm in love with this thing. I don't think I would ever sell it to anyone. Right now I keep it for recordings, and if there is like a gig with a high profile singer or something that I have to put my best game on, I'll use this thing, but I don't want to play it regularly, like in a regular gig. With this guitar also, I didn't modify it in any case, but I did add in an extra fret, so when I play, let's see if this thing still works. So when I play my makamim scales, basically makamim is microtone scales, so there is different ways of playing them. So this guitar, I added an extra fret over here. I didn't actually add it to the actual guitar, but it's a moving fret, so you can move it around. It doesn't harm the guitar whatsoever. It's tied up with a rubber band. Try to tie it up again. So yeah, I take a rubber band over here and I tie it up like this. It holds it in, and sometimes I would use also like an octave divider type of effect. And this thing is good. I use it. So basically, this is what it is. Just a little. I took a regular guitar fret and I basically kind of file it into, not on the guitar. Don't ever try it. So I file it, try by arrow, file it a little, put it back on the guitar, file it, put it back until I get the right circumference. Anyway, this is a working mule.